Good. All right, welcome to Bondurant, Iowa for a wrestling duel tonight. First home duel of the season for the Bluejays. This one will be between the Bondurant for our Bluejays and the Carroll Tigers. We're going to start out with approximately 14 JV matches. So this is Patrick Meyer here with Shannon Klein. How you doing, Shannon?
Hey, I'm doing well. Exciting times getting the wrestling season underway and ready to watch some wrestling tonight for these high school kids.
So starting out here, we're going to have Ryder Harris for Bondurant Farrar and Jameson Polking from Carroll. So Ryder's going to have a busy night tonight. It looks like he gets to wrestle everyone on the JV card for them. So he's got 3 matches, so he'll be busy. As we're getting ready to get started, want to thank our sponsor, Rowan Baker Painting, doing pretty much any type of painting you need. You need your house painted, they're the guys, good sponsors of Bondurant. So Ryder in quick on a shot. Let's see if he can convert to the finish.
And that was a high crotch takedown attempt there for Ryder. And you had mentioned before we got on air here, Ryder's new to wrestling. And so those of you watching Ryder, you'll learn right along with us here about him and his skills.
I like that he was aggressive, ready to take a shot right off the start, not waiting around.
Now he's trying to limp arm out. He's trying to get that elbow free and limp it out. And Polking just kept going forward, and that's the key to wrestling is you're always going forward. Once you stop your motion, you're in trouble. Harris up to his feet there and gets out immediately. 2-1 is the score.
Actually, they didn't award the takedown. I'm not sure. I thought for sure that was a takedown, but he
That
waved
looked
it
like
off.
a takedown. Okay,
Yep, I thought so too.
We're allowed to be wrong once.
Oh,
there's a headlock.
That's gonna. He might get that roll through.
That's the thing with Ryder. He's an accomplished gymnast, and so flexibility and strength, a lot of core strength. He's able to move in a way that a lot of people aren't, and we saw that on display right there.
Just looks painful to me. So the Ryder's down 4-0 right now with the 2 points for a takedown and then 2 points for near fall. We'll try and talk you through some of the scoring systems here. If you're new to wrestling, and if you're not new to wrestling, then hopefully you don't need any of this.
If you've watched, maybe you watched the Iowa State wrestling meet this past weekend, the scoring is very similar. It's the same style. This is called folk style wrestling. If you've ever watched any of the Olympic wrestling, that would be freestyle. Scored a lot differently. Greco-Roman scored a lot differently. A lot of accomplished folk style wrestlers are also wrestling freestyle, or even some do Greco-Roman as well.
So I'm not sure if we got a little bit of injury time. Something happened to Ryder.
Yeah, he was kind of pointing to his throat there a little bit, and it makes you wonder if maybe he got an elbow or a fist to the throat. Nothing that looked intentional, but maybe inadvertent. Exciting when people try wrestling. It's a sport where you can really develop yourself, show your best self. He's a great little gymnast. Now let's try wrestling and just learn a new set of skills here. It's exciting to see him trying the sport. There's that high crotch shot again. He tried that earlier in the match.
He's just not quite able to finish it, but that time he does.
He was able to elevate the leg off the mat and trip for a finish.
So he gets 2 points for the takedown, and now he's going to give up 2-point reversal. Jameson came around behind on that and took control. So we're going to end the first period. Jameson's ahead 6-3 over Ryder. And Ryder's going to choose the bottom position to start the second period. So you can choose the top position, the bottom position, or both wrestlers neutral.
Right up to his feet is Ryder, and he gets those hands, tries to break that grip and turn around into Polking. He wants to get that leg back, though. Polking doing everything he can to hang on to that leg and maintain control. But Harris needs to kick that leg back. We have Ryder get his leg back and get pressure on the head. Reaching around the hips doesn't do him any good here. But that'll come with experience. As he wrestles more matches, he'll get a feel for that.
So with Ryder's escape and then Jameson's takedown, it's now 8-4. So we wrestle 3 periods in the high school level. They're each 2 minutes. He's trying to tap out, I believe.
Yeah, he's saying he can't breathe.
Something's not right. He doesn't. So he's going to give up a 3-point near fall there. I'm not sure what's going on with Mr. Ryder.
Yeah, and we don't want to speculate as to what it is. I could just see him mouth the words, "I can't breathe." And so hopefully it's a quick injury timeout here.
While we run a little bit of injury time, we'll give a quick shout out to Sarah and Bryce Moss as they're tuning in. We're teaching Bryce everything about wrestling right now, apparently. So
very good. Bryce, there's a quiz tomorrow. So the score is 11-4, and if you've watched this match, you're thinking, man, how do you get there? Well, if you get a couple takedowns and some back points, all of a sudden you're gonna add up points in a hurry. So that's why it's important to wrestle the entire match. You could have a 7-point lead with a minute left, and all of a sudden it's gone. And so that's why if you're in the lead, you got to wrestle the full match. But if you're coming from behind, you can score a lot of points in a hurry.
Good mat return there by Ryder. Not quite able to maintain the control he was looking for. Now he's around the waist again, like you had mentioned. 2 points for the reversal for Jameson.
And now you see that left arm on the back of Ryder, and you kind of have 4 points of contact. You have your arms and you have your legs, and once you get one of those 4 points of contact removed, it makes it quite a challenge to make anything happen.
And I think that's going to be the end of the match. Whatever's going on with Ryder is going to make him default out of that. So Jameson's going to win by injury default. There's no real team scoring that we'll keep track of on a JV match because it's not consistent across the weight classes and all that. It's basically just for JV. We're matching up as many kids as we can to try to get as many of them a match as possible, and we'll go from there. When we get to varsity, we'll have a team scoring that goes along with it. So this second match is going to be Landon Corey for Bondurant Farrar versus Tanner Heithoff for Carroll. So.
And Landon Corey, now here's somebody, he's been wrestling a long time. He comes from a family of wrestlers. His dad, his uncles, all great wrestlers when they were in high school. Landon's wrestled a long time, so we'll see a lot of experience on display here from Landon.
Landon does a good job sprawling from that shot and then getting around behind for the takedown. He's going to try a mat return here. If he doesn't do it soon, he might get called for stalling, but he's able to get him back to the mat. So essentially, if they stand up after you've gotten a takedown, you have to get them returned back to the mat or let them go. Otherwise, you'll get called for stalling. And if you get called for stalling multiple times, you start giving up points for it and eventually can be defaulted out.
So now he's got a tilt, and he tried to roll through with the tilt. That's a pretty neat little move that he has. You trap one of those 4 posts underneath the body. You trap that arm under the body and roll through. He wasn't able to keep him there, and now he switches to a half, and this is going to be tight. Right on the edge of the mat there. He has to keep him in bounds. You got to keep the shoulders in bounds on this side of the white line to get the fall.
I think they changed that, didn't they? Where you just have to have points of contact inside.
Yes,
You
I
can
was
have
wrong.
pins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes, that is correct.
Because otherwise, I don't think he would have had shoulder blades in. But Landon Corey's going to get the fall there over Tanner Heitoff.
Points of contact. Good correction there, Patrick.
And that's a rule change, I think, within the last 2 or 3 years. Basically trying to allow people to create more offense by making the mat bigger almost.
Yep. And Landon, just talk about him briefly. He's a kid that would make the varsity lineup in a lot of schools. So there's good depth at the program at that weight.
So now we got a 132-pound match between Blake Briley of Bondurant-Farrar and Remy Richardson of Carroll. Richardson gets a quick takedown. Briley looking to get himself out of there, but right now Richardson still got control. Briley's trying to get some. Oh, he's trying to do a headlock roll through.
Yeah, he's reaching back for the head, and that's
usually frowned upon.
Yeah, there you go.
It oftentimes puts you in a bad position when you're on bottom like that, reaching back, because your hand's way up in the air, and it gives the other guy opportunities to put you on your back.
Yeah, right now what Blake needs to do is get his elbows out, wrists out in front, and elbows out, and up to his knees. So here he's okay. If he could get his wrist out, he'd be a lot better, but he's got his knees up. Now he's back to flat on the mat. You don't want to be there, so he keeps working back up. We call that being on your base. So he's in his base position with his knees up, getting his hips up off the mat. You can't do anything when your hips are on the mat, so you got to get your hips up and move. And now he's leaving that other side exposed, his right side exposed to the half.
But he's trying real hard to fight off that half on his left side, so he's trying to look away from the half so he doesn't turn into it. Reaching back for that head again. Normally you want to try and get your head off the mat. It's just not a very effective spot to be.
Oh.
Almost rolled himself to his back.
Yeah, what he should be doing here is standing up with that right leg, standing up to create some space and get up to his feet rather than reaching back with that. Time's going to run out. He'll get a fresh start here, but that's one thing that he could work on as he goes back and looks at this film is if I'm on the bottom, I got to get that leg out and try to stand up. Reaching back's not going to get me anywhere.
So at the end of the period, it's going to be 2-0. Richardson's ahead. He's going to turn and face the official. He chose down, Remy did. And so we'll start the second period, 2-0. One thing about the JV matches is you have varying levels of experience as well, and so that's why it's great to be able to get these matches.
Jumping out to the side, there's Blake. He's trying to jump that leg in, but he let his hip get down to the mat, and that allowed Remy to get out. Once you learn how to be a leg rider, you can do a lot of good things, and he just got a little too aggressive with it there, Blake did.
So Richardson gets a reversal on that, and he goes up 4-0. Now, Blake actually hooked the head that time and got up.
He's got a nice front headlock.
See if he can finish that. Right now, technically, Richardson's still in control. They haven't awarded anything else, but
he's trying to get a cradle with that front headlock.
He's got him on his back, so there's 2 points for the reversal.
He's got to settle back. He's got to work back towards. Oh.
And now, so they're going to rule him off the mat. So you got 2 points for the reversal for Blake. No near fall points.
Correct, no near fall.
Tough, but Richardson then gets the reversal back, so he gets 2 points himself, which made it 6-2. And Richardson would be on top, but instead he's going to choose to let Blake up and go to the neutral position. So Blake gets 1 point for the intentional escape, and Richardson's up 6-3 with a minute to go in the second period. And Richardson gets the takedown.
He's able to use his length to his advantage there by reaching down to that leg and snatching it up. Now here's a little bit of why did they want him to go neutral there? He's had success with getting a takedown before. When he was on the mat in the top position, he got reversed. So the coaches are saying, hey, if you're on your feet, you have a better chance at scoring points. So I get why they did it. Blake with a nice takedown of his own here, though.
So now it's 8-5. Richardson has the lead. Briley has control right now. Needs to get his legs back, though. He's in a dangerous spot right here.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting his hips up and coming to his feet. And a good scramble situation there for Blake, and he comes out and gets back to his feet.
Richardson gets the point for the escape there, but Blake was in a dangerous spot, so it's a good time.
Yes.
Good job getting back out.
A common saying in wrestling is 1, not 2. You'd rather give up 1 point on the escape instead of 2 for the reversal. Richardson gets an end of the period takedown here to make it 11-5.
So this will take us to the third period, and Richardson's going to choose down. So Blake must have chose top. I missed that on the first decision.
We'll see what kind of offense he can get on the top here. He's tried to put his legs in twice, and it hasn't really worked in his favor. Let's see if he tries something different.
Again, he got a little too high there.
And that's hard. If you're wrestling somebody that's got a height advantage, it's really hard to get in on the legs and make that work because they can extend themselves in a defensive manner.
And if you're not sure what we mean by the leg ride, we'll have some people that are probably a little more accomplished with it later, and
we'll see
mention it then.
It's pretty common in high school, and we'll see a lot of that. We'll be sure to point that out.
Richardson gets the reversal, so he now has a 13-5 lead. Scoring-wise, if you were doing team score, an 8-point lead is a major decision as opposed to a regular decision. So a regular decision winning by 1 to 7 points gets you 3 team points. Winning by 8 to 14 points is called a major decision, so you get 4 team points. If you at any point have a 15-point lead over your opponent, it's called a technical fall, and they'll end the match unless you're in the process of pinning somebody. And that would get you 5 team points, and then if you actually pin the person, you'd get 6 team points.
Blake's doing everything he can to try to get out on the bottom here. And I think a lot of what we're seeing here, keep in mind, these are all high school kids, yet Blake's a freshman and this kid's a senior. So you're wrestling with somebody 3 years of an age difference. That just comes with natural maturity, the whole puberty thing, natural strength that comes with that. And so Blake has done a really good job of trying to work through this match, trying his best to what he knows. He's a good young wrestler that has a lot of potential. There's a full Nelson that the ref missed on that deal, but we got to be looking for that.
He did get 2 near fall points, so it's now 15-5 with 9 seconds left. I think he's got the full Nelson.
There's
again.
2. Yeah, that's the second time. Thank you.
And so
there we go.
You can't do a full Nelson. It's considered an illegal move because of the danger of it. So Blake will get 1 point from Remy's full Nelson, and they'll restart with 4 seconds remaining.
A half Nelson is one of the most common wrestling moves used to pin an opponent. It's going under the arm on one side and up on the neck, lift and turn. It's successful. That's why it's common. So we will see some more of that tonight.
So Remy Richardson's going to get the victory there. It would be a major decision. And now we'll move on to a 138-pound match. I don't think that's right because Eli's a 126-pounder. It's a weight class. They just have it listed that way. But for Bondurant, for our Elijah Cook is going to be wrestling, and for Carroll it's going to be Owen Clockey. Both freshmen. Owen in on the single leg there. Eli trying to fight it off, and they're going to say it was out of bounds. Stay neutral position. Owen's another one that looks like he's got quite a bit of length.
Yeah, he does. Certainly.
And Owen's going to get the first takedown there, 2-0 now. Elijah trying to fight hands, keep him from giving up that wrist on the backside. Owen's doing a good job fighting for it. And that's not where you want to be with that arm on your back.
Yeah, when you get that arm on the back like that, when you're the bottom guy, that's really hard because it takes a lot of energy to fight out of it. Plus, you can't really do a whole lot to score or get an advantage. When you're in the top, you can take that guy's arm and you can set up your offense. Now, they do have to watch the arm on the back there for safety reasons. Elijah able to get that arm broke free. Now we'll see if he can work the wrist out and up.
Gets that wrist free. Allows you to start to build up your base. But Owen still, he's got the cross wrist now, it looks like, and he's looking for the half.
Now what Elijah needs to do here is look away from where that arm is, try to peel it off. He does get his head free, but Clocky drops and gets 2-on-1. He has 2 of his hands on one of Elijah's arms, trying to work it onto the back, which he does. Now Elijah stands up, but he gets caught. Oh, he did a good job of getting to his feet, but he wasn't able to wing down hard enough to get that elbow free in this Saturday night ride for the fall.
So Owen Clocky is going to get the fall over Elijah Cook. If you're just tuning in, these are the JV portion, junior varsity portion of the duel. We're about, not quite halfway through the JV portion, and then we'll step into varsity. Up now is Gavin Steppen for Bondurant Farrar and Tate Schleichman from Carroll. Gavin's new to the Bondurant Farrar school district this year. I've seen a little bit of action from him. He seems to be an experienced wrestler. Currently in a tough spot to be on the depth chart because you have Chase Pfizer, who was 3rd place at state last year, in front of you. Good fireman.
Oh,
down.
Yeah, there we go.
2-point
I'd love
takedown.
to see a fireman's carry, and that was well executed. He went at it from the left side. That was cool.
He's going to give him the escape. So Gavin's had 2-1 right now. And looking for a outside single, sweep single. He's going to try and work his way around and see if he can hook that other leg, but they're going to go out of bounds. So the out of bounds is kind of a judgment call, but if any point, any part of you is touching the basketball court, it ends immediately. That's just too far. So if you're like 6'8" and you can reach and touch that, I guess you can get the out of bounds call. Good action here between the two, though.
There we go. There's a nice single leg.
Good sprawl by Tate. Gavin's going to try and suck that leg in. Good sweep around the backside. Gets the 2-point takedown. Now 4-1.
So he's gotten 2 takedowns. Each takedown's worth 2 points. That's where that 4 comes from. And Tate was able to get out once. You get 1 point for an escape. That's how we got 4-1. And now Gavin with a great ride. There's a half Nelson. Perfectly executed.
And that's going to be the end of it.
Yep.
You don't get out of something that tight very often. And there's 1:13 remaining. He's going to switch and
now we call this a reverse. Yep. And it's even tighter this way. I give Tate all the credit in the world for fighting this hard because that is tight.
Our clock must be off because it hasn't changed off 1:13. It's 1 second, and that's going to bring the end of the period. I'm not sure what's going off with our overall clock. I was wondering why Hayden was running out there. But so Gavin's going to get 3 points for the near fall because he had Tate's back exposed for a 5 count, but wasn't able to pin him. So that's 3 points for Gavin. He's got a 7-1 lead now. And to start the second period, Tate's going to be on bottom. Clock looks like it's working now, so. I'm guessing maybe our person working the scoreboard clock just didn't get it started and waltzed down there with the track wrestling clock, which was more official.
That could be. Good mat return there. A little bit risky, but he's obviously practiced that enough times to know that he can do it. And you mentioned Chase Pfizer. You might not be able to return Chase Pfizer in that manner, but a lot of wrestlers you can.
Yeah. And now he's got the chicken wing in there.
Yeah, that's a good wing on the right side there. Up underneath the elbow.
Trying to come around for the half.
He's got the wrist on the back, so that's pretty tight. He's looking to the half, and I wonder if he's going to try and jump to the other side or if he's going to walk around the head. Yep, he's trying to walk around the head, but Tate's doing a really good job. Like he's
fighting it off.
Now he lets the chicken wing go. But Gavin has that wrist tied up. And another thing, while he's not getting points, he's really taken a lot of effort, energy away from Tate on the bottom here. So when we get to the third period, he's got a 6-point lead, but he's been in control the whole match, Gavin has. And he's really been able to wear down his opponent. And he's looking for a cradle. He's got the cradle locked up.
We're at 17 seconds left in the period. Looks like he might have got a 2 count. So a 2 count's going to get you a 2-point near fall. And then he said they were out of bounds, so they're going to reset at the middle with 11 seconds remaining. Gavin with a 9-1 lead. Tate went for the switch, but Gavin was able to counter it and hold him down. 2-1, and that's going to bring us to the end of the second period. Gavin has 9 and Tate has 1, and Gavin's going to choose down.
And this is a good opportunity for him to work on being on the bottom, how to get out, wrestling somebody new, somebody he hasn't wrestled before. It's different than when you go to the same guy in practice every day. And so here he hits a Granby roll, and he does it.
Tate's
pretty cool.
Still got the leg, but that's not. He's got control now. 2 points for Gavin. You'll see most wrestlers start on the bottom. Well, probably most in high school take the bottom position because all you have to do is stand up and you get a point. So it's the quickest way for a lot of people to score.
Now Gavin hooks up that cross-face cradle, and he had the arm tight in there. He let the arm go. Tate was able then to kick free and stand up. And now we're going to have a locked hands penalty.
So he got 3 points for the near fall, but then when he was on top, you can't just lock your hands together or hold him down unless you're in a pinning combination.
Correct. You got to have like an arm, a leg. You can't just wrap your hands around the waist and lock them.
So he's got a 14-2 lead. So if he gets one, he gives up the escape. So now it's 14-3.
There's a good sprawl. Look at that. The way he's got his hips back, that's a really good sprawl right there. That's how you teach it. And now he's able to lock up a near side cradle, head in the side cradle, and walk it over.
And that's going to end it one way or another because it'll be a tech fall if he doesn't get the pin, but that's the pin. So Gavin Steppin's going to get the pin. Midway through the third period.
That was a good match. He's a good wrestler. That's the first time I've gotten to see him wrestle. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. All right, so next up we have, this is going to be Caleb Kramer, and I believe against Cameron Peplinski.
Caleb started the season with a bang, getting a nice fall in his first varsity match last week up at Gilbert. So his season is off to a good start, able to wrestle at the Donnybrook.
And we'll talk about that tournament probably more during varsity, but the varsity went to a really big new tournament this year in Iowa City. It was a 2-day tournament. Really great competition as Caleb gets the 2-point takedown.
And here's a kid who has dedicated himself to becoming a better wrestler in the off season, lifting. He's doing all the things that's been asked of him. He's entering his junior year, wrestled some varsity, will be in and out of that varsity lineup, but he's really dedicated himself to the sport, and he's wanted to be great at it, and so he's worked really hard, and it's paid off for him. We're seeing an aggressive Caleb Kramer out here, somebody that is confident on his feet. He's got a nice takedown already in this match.
One thing he's got historically had an issue with is maybe staying quite low enough because he's really tall. He's moved up a couple weight classes, putting on some muscle like he had said, which is good. But when you get tired, a lot of times you risk standing up too straight, which gives up easier shots. So he's doing a better job of staying low this match.
There we go.
Gets the takedown to his back.
He snapped him down, and he was able to keep that half once he snapped him down. So he just caught him at the right place.
And he's going to get the fall. Caleb Kramer with the first period fall over Cameron Peplinski.
Yeah, he's really come a long ways in the last 10, 12 months as a wrestler, so that's a good win.
Is that Lyman coming up? We don't have a true match order here, so. Yep, that's going to be Gavin Lyman for Bondurant Farrar versus Blake Bowl for Carroll. We're probably just past halfway through our JV, or halfway into our JV duel.
Gavin's another one of those people that does what the coaches ask of him, wants to get better all the time. You're really just an all-around good kid that you like to have in the room as part of the program because he's building your program up each and every day.
Gavin's a sophomore. Blake is a freshman.
You can see where his head is on the inside there. When you get your head kind of in the shoulder, it makes it really difficult to move. So Gavin has now moved out. He's forehead to forehead, and now he goes back in where it's tight like that. I call that a tight collar tie position. It's really hard to move. He's on that elbow, but he's not able to do very much. You want to be forehead to forehead or just slightly to one side or to the other so that you can use your offense to that side. And now they're fighting for inside. They're trying to get their arms inside each other. You can see Gavin has that left arm on the elbow. You're able to do a lot with that if you can get the other guy stepping the way you want him to.
Really just looking to create a little bit of offensive space so they can take their shot, hopefully.
He's really heavy on that head. You can see that Blake's head is kind of down into the mat. Gavin is able to keep his level. What that does is it's showing you that Gavin has a really, really good grip on the neck. There's a nice shot attempt. Not going to finish that, but it's a good attempt. He's got to come back up to his feet because Blake has a sprawl on here.
Good job sucking that leg
there
in by Gavin and elevating.
Yes, there's going to be two. So he came back up to his feet, was able to finish that takedown for two. Nice job, Gavin. Now he's got a good cross face. Coming across the face, grabbing that bicep. You can really get the inside, that inside arm bone going across the nose of that guy. That's good because then you can lock up that cradle, get the near fall. He's going to run out of time here.
The ref hit the pin, but I think it was after time was out. He's going to check with the scorer's table to confirm. And yep, it's going to be the fall just before time was out.
I think that's like tie goes to the runner type of deal.
So Gavin Lyman with the pin.
2-minute fall.
Exactly as time expired. All right, so next up is Marcus Teed for Bondurant Farrar and Rowan Huffman for Carroll. Marcus is a junior and Rowan is a sophomore.
Starting to sound like a broken record here, but it's true. Marcus, another good kid in the program, another person that wants to get better, and a multi-sport athlete and a good contributor to the team as well. He saw some varsity action last year, I think.
Yep.
A little while.
Yep, he's dabbled in and out. Going to get the quick takedown. One thing Marcus definitely is, he's a strong kid.
Yeah, he is. He's going to lock up a cradle here, and he's going for the quick fall of the night.
And that's a 21-second fall for Marcus Teed, so he didn't waste too much time. All right, so our next match is going to be a heavyweight match. Hunter Lyman for Bondurant Farrar and Blake Slagle for Carroll. So Hunter Lyman, Gavin Lyman's older brother, next up.
And Hunter's going to have a definite advantage in experience in this match, having a freshman opponent. The other guy might weigh a little more, might be a little bigger, but Hunter has wrestled a lot of matches in his years and should have an experience advantage going into this match.
Hunter, also a multi-sport athlete out there for football as well.
Yep. Good contributor on the football field as well as in the wrestling room.
He's going to get a 2-point takedown there as he comes around behind.
Look at that nice power half. He's able to put pressure on the head, and he wants to beat Marcus's 21-second fall, but he's not going to get there. But he's really working that.
Oh, watch that arm.
Yeah, watch that elbow there. There we go, Hunter. Works him over. And it's just a matter of time here, Patrick.
The heavyweights don't get out of these too often.
Now, Hunter just needs to scoot more towards the head a little bit here. There he goes.
And that's going to be a fall, 40 seconds. So next up for Bondurant for our Caleb Meyer. And for Carroll, it's going to be Skylar Hay. Meyer is a junior and Hay is a freshman. Hay looking for that shot. Meyer with the sprawl, looking to get his hips back and get some control. Hay still working for that leg. Meyer sinking his hips back, trying to get control, and is going to almost had himself into a cradle there. And that's going to be a 2-point takedown for Meyer, looking to get Hay to his back. Not entirely sure what we're working with there, but
maybe you could have him explain that one to you when you get home. Hey, what's that move called?
It's he's almost on his back. Let's see if we can keep him there.
And he's really come out. He's been really aggressive here this first period and done a nice job.
Trying to work a ball and chain here.
Yep.
So he's got Skylar's arm stuck between his legs. So Caleb's got kind of a tilt with that ball and chain going right now.
He's got to keep his hips up, though. There we go. Nice job,
Good
Caleb.
recovery. That's going to be a 2-point near fall for Meyer. Now working that tight waist. Minute 15 into this first period. Meyer's able to get him pulled back down to the mat. Still working that wrist, 2-on-1 it looks like. Maybe trying to get that arm bar or the ball and chain again. I think he's got the wrong arm hooked up though, maybe.
Yeah, if he could reverse it, there we go. If he could switch the hand that's on the wrist, he might feel a little bit more opportunity there. Get those hips up again. He's got to get. There we go. Nice. He's getting more back points here, Patrick.
High hips usually win.
Hey.
And Meyer's going to get the fall. He did a good job in that scramble position of getting his hips higher, and that allowed him to come out on top, and he's going to get the fall over Skylar Hay.
We've had a good run of Bondurant matches here.
So now this next match is going to be a freshman Brayton Gipple for Bondurant Farrar versus Wyatt Snyder for Carroll. Snyder is a sophomore.
Gipple, another one of these freshmen on the team. There's a good core group of freshmen that they've wrestled for a while. They just need to learn a lot more about high school wrestling, but there's a really good core group of them, and Gip is one of them that is going to be a contributor to this program into the future. They'll get a lot of JV matches this year and really will build into nice high school wrestlers. So the future is super bright for this team.
Good shot there from Gipple, looking to finish now, coming around, and is going to get the 2-point takedown. And now he's going to see if he can work some type of pinning combination. Trying to see what Wyatt's going to offer him.
Yeah, he's a little high up there. What we want to do is get off to the side and chop an arm, break his hips down something. There we go.
I think that was just a 1 count, so no points on that. Almost rolled him over his head, though.
He's doing a good job on that left arm. Now he's got the wing in on the left side, that wrist up on the back. If he can walk around the head, he's going to get close to the fall, and there he goes around the head.
It's like you were right in his ear talking. So that's going to be the fall.
Textbook.
Brayton Gipple. Losing his headgear, but got the win. All So getting near the end of our matches tonight. This might even be the last one because I'm not sure Ryder Harris is coming back out. He had to default out of that first one. So this will be Austin Hansen for Bondurant Farrar versus Cole Miller of Carroll.
Austin, another one of that freshman group that played football, is now wrestling. You love to see that in school when you got multi-sport athletes trying to make themselves better.
I think Austin's a little bit newer to wrestling, but giving it a try, seeing what we can do. And, you know, my argument has always been that if it's winter time and you're not actually putting the ball in the hoop, you might as well be on the wrestling mat.
Yep, 100% agree. Kirk Ferentz will tell you the same thing if you're a Hawkeye fan.
And why wouldn't you be a Hawkeye fan?
Well, don't have time to get into that because I don't have any room to talk except for the girls' basketball team.
Cole Miller's got Austin on his back. We're looking to get this pin, and he does. So Cole Miller's going to come away with the fall in that one.
It's going to be all she wrote. Oh, no. Well, I don't know. Ryder's out here. We're going to see if he's going to wrestle. There we go.
So he is going to give it another go.
Sienna's going to wrestle.
So this is going to be Sienna Argerin for Carroll and Ryder Harris for Bondurant Farrar.
And I wish we had an hour to talk about girls wrestling because I wish it were sanctioned. And it's only a matter of time before it does get sanctioned because there's so many girls interested in high school wrestling. And it's awesome to see at the middle school level we have some girls on the wrestling team. And in each meet they go to, there's a couple girls on each team. So it needs to be sanctioned. And so I'm really glad to see that Carroll has some girls on the team as well.
And it really kind of feeds off each other. You know, once a few girls go out and they get into it, and all of a sudden you have a few more, and you get to, there's a few schools out there in Iowa that have, 15 and 20 girls on their team.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see.
The last at least 2 years, we've had a girls' state, which was unofficial because it, like you said, it's not sanctioned, but somebody went ahead and put together the tournament, and I want to say there's like 600 girls in it last year. It was a big number.
That's awesome.
I might be wrong on that number, but Ryder gets the takedown.
Yeah, he had a great double leg. He finished it. He was able to get in, finish, and trip. Sienna back to her feet here, getting the escape. 2-1 is our score. A great takedown, though, by Ryder with that double leg.
We got some hand fighting.
There we
Ryder
go.
gets in on a leg.
Now he's got a single, trips to a finish, and he's got the half.
He's trying to keep that arm back.
Now he's got to walk towards the head. He's a little too high. He's got to get more towards the head and scoot back just a little bit. Something, once again, that he's going to learn with experience in wrestling is how to sink that half deeper, get the elbow behind the opponent's head instead of out on the side where it is now. That's how you work the head. Now he's just got to get deeper on that. He's got to get elbow behind the head and lift it up. He's got to scoot back.
And they're going to go out of bounds. So Ryder's going to get a 3-point near fall. Yeah, once you got that half buried, you don't have to rush too much. You just got to settle in and tighten it up because the more they kind of rock back and forth, the tighter it gets. Sierra up to her feet, looking to get the escape. And so Ryder's got to bring her down. Okay. Say if he didn't bring her down soon, he was going to get that stall call.
Okay, there you can see it. You can see that he's got to get the elbow more behind the head and get his wrist up. His right wrist coming up almost like he's trying to touch his own back. That's what we mean when we say get it deeper. So scoot his body back more so he's chest on chest and get that half deeper. And what they're going to do, they'll be able to watch that video with him and say, hey, right here, Ryder, is where you got to do it. And he'll learn it because he's smart. He's a good athlete, and he's going to receive coaching on that. And next time he gets that half, he'll be able to do that.
Quick thank you to Jason Grubel, who's chiming in that the they had 687 girls at the state wrestling
687.
competition last year. So
awesome. What
big
a great
number,
what
and
a great event.
To me, that's a number where people got to be serious about getting this sanctioned. And I know they're talking about it. They just need to figure out how the logistics work. Ryder with another takedown.
That time is a high crotch, so he's had a double leg, he's had a single leg, and he's had a high crotch, which means he's absorbing all that they're teaching in the wrestling room. He's got that half again. This is where he can let go of the leg. That's not helping him at all. He's going to learn that. But, man, look at the score here. He wins this match 18-1 with a tech fall. His friends are happy for him, proud of him, and it's awesome to see him get a win out here tonight in front of the home crowd.
All right, so I think that'll be the end of our JV, but we'll give it a second and make sure. Sometimes they, just kind of like, hey, what else can we do? We're just trying to get as many kids matches as possible. And I love that both programs had enough kids available to get these JV matches in.
I do too. Yep.
Wrestling is not a sport that everybody can be into. It's just it takes a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of pain sometimes, and so it's great to see two programs putting in the work. I think we're taking a 10-minute break before varsity, so we'll take one with you, and we'll come back closer to the start.
We would like to take a moment to recognize our Athletic Booster Club business sponsors for their generous donation to our school. Our sponsors this year are Authentic Construction, Iowa Floor Covering, Lori Construction, Remax Hilltop, Parks Custom Homes, Photos by Ben, Plaza RV, Story Kenworthy, Oral Surgeons PC, and Wheeze Tees. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, you can purchase it in a variety of ways, including RevTrack on the school's website, Venmo at BF Boosters, or via check or credit card at the J Shop during the football game. Learn more about Athletic Boosters through the school website under Activities, Booster Club, and then Athletics. You can find us through Facebook at Bondurant Athletic Boosters Club and Twitter at BF Boosters.
Okay guys, I'm not gonna lie, it's looking pretty rough out there. We've not been playing well, but this time we're gonna bring in a secret weapon, and here he is.
Why is he in slow motion?
Okay, as you guys can tell, our new quarterback is Seneca Wallace. It's our secret weapon. Let's get out there and practice.
Louis, Louis, hit! Omaha! Oh, she looked the wrong way. Keep running! What's up?
What are you doing dancing?
Okay, all right. Now run the route, please.
Get off the field! We may not be good at football, but we're good at building legacies.
Association. That's welcome Bondurant. So next week, we're featuring the Carroll Tigers. Or Bondurant Bluejays. Participating schools encourage positive sportsmanship and behavior activities tonight. Please encourage your athletes and coaches and positive comments and acts. Enjoy the meet by being a good sport. The official for tonight's matches is Jim Torben. Carroll is coached by head coach Terry Dale and assisted by Keith Weber, Martin Vickery, Dave Drake, and Taylor Berger. Bondurant for R is coached by head coach Matt Wonderland, assisted by Chris Corey, Cole Benton, Eddie Ryder, Blake Hollyhow, and Matt Keeper. Here are tonight's lineups. At 106 for the Bluejays, Reed Foster. For Carroll, Larry Schweitzer. At 113 for the Bluejays, Connor Pfizer. For Carroll, Ryan Ziegler. At 120 for the Bluejays, Cody Hay. For the Tigers, Carroll Nelson. At 126 for the Bluejays, Max Riggins. For the Tigers, Ethan Escobar. At 132 for the Bluejays, Jordan Ryle. And for the Tigers, Cooper Ludwig. At 138 for the Bluejays, Chase Pfizer. For the Tigers, Carter Drake. At 145 for the Bluejays, Porter Francois. And for the Tigers, Jaina Gallegos. At 152 for the Bluejays, Cooper Jones. For the Tigers, Thaddeus Church. At 160 for the Bluejays, Trent Paxton. For the Tigers, Justin Leesburg. At 170 for the Bluejays, Aiden Carroll. For the Tigers, Shirley Rodman. At 182 for the Bluejays, Clayton Bakerpool. And the Tigers are over. At 195 for the Bluejays, John Powers. And the Tigers are over. 220 for the Bluejays, Quentin Fulton. And the Tigers are over. 285 for the Bluejays, Noah Winter. For the Tigers, Cole Reed. At this time, we got Chase Pfizer to step forward on the center of the mat. Over the weekend, senior Chase Pfizer tallied his 100th victory at the game Naval Donnybrook. At this time, we got the honor. At this time, would you please stand and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
All right, either welcome back or welcome in to the varsity portion of this duel between the Bondurant Farrar Bluejays and the Carroll Tigers. If you're just tuning in and caught that little celebration, we had a nice little poster made for Chase Pfizer, who just over the weekend accomplished his 100th career win, which is a pretty amazing accomplishment considering he was stuck behind a pretty solid wrestler as a freshman. So most of those wins have come over the course of 2 seasons.
Yeah, it's an exciting thing, and congratulations to Chase for that accomplishment. He'll have a lot more on that total before the end of this year as well.
So it appears we are starting at 113 pounds. So we'll go starting light, all the way to heavy, and then come back for one more light match. So 113 pounds for Bondurant Farrar. It's going to be Connor Pfizer coming into this match with a 6-1 record versus Ryler Ziegman for Carroll coming in at 0-2.
Connor, the younger brother of Chase.
So the Blue Jays are coming off a real big tournament. We mentioned the Dan Gable Donnybrook over the weekend, which allowed them to rack up a few extra matches. So that's part of how Connor has a 6-1 record already, as he wrestled 5 matches on Friday-Saturday combo.
And you can see how aggressive he is. He's just getting that constant pressure on Ryler, trying to force him off the mat. And what he wants Ryler to do is push back so that he can then take a shot.
And you saw the ref put up his fist. That was a stall call against Ziegman. So that was the first one there as Connor gets the takedown, 2 points.
Just a nice, simple double leg there to finish for Connor. Now he's got that right arm trapped. He's got the wing on the right side. He's got the tight waist.
And now he's got that wrist hooked up, and he's looking for a tilt.
So this is something where you're going to get back points out of, and that's what Connor's doing here. He's looking to get those back points. He won't pin Ryler here, but he does get his near fall points.
Connor's a scorer. He'll get more tech falls than pins probably, as he likes to get those takedowns, escapes, work those tilts.
Look at that. Look at that ankle pick, that low single ankle, just reaching out, grabbing that.
And there he's getting that wrist locked up again, or looking for it, trying to get that tilt.
And here's another kid that would have been a varsity wrestler last year if he wasn't behind a state place winner, at 106 and
close. Blood round.
State qualifier. How about that?
So he's getting the tilt points again. And so that 5 count is going to get Connor 3 more points, and now he's going to look for the pin.
Yeah, now this is more of a pinning
and he gets
hook up here. Once you get that arm out, you bar the arm out to the side and walk it around the head, it's over. Great way to start the meet here for the Blue Jays.
So with the pin, Connor's going to get Bondurant Farrar 16 points. And we'll move on to 120 pounds.
Yeah, this is the match that I've been looking forward to, the match of the night, what I think, with Cody Hay. A good wrestler for Bondurant. And then Cale Nelson, somebody that I've seen wrestle since he was 5 years old, comes from a good, strong wrestling family. 12th, according to your rankings here, Patrick.
Yeah, I went in and pulled the Rofkin rankings. We're down to about one set of rankings anymore, unfortunately, but Rofkin is the one out there, and so they have him at number 12 in 2A and Cody at number 9 in 3A. As Cody's in on a leg, gets the 2-point takedown. Trying to decide if he wants to keep that leg or not. Lets him get it balanced back out so he can start working some offense from there.
Cody had an awesome season last year for Bondurant. Has a nice record to start the year here at 4-2.
Yeah, he lost a tough one by 1 point in the first round of the Donnybrook and came back and won 3 more matches while he was there. So get some quality work in. Carroll moved down to 2A this year. They had been 3A in the past, whereas Bondurant moved up to 3A from 2A. So as you see, Cody's got that arm behind his head. He was looking to looking to bury a half, but wasn't quite able to get it. And so now he's putting Carroll in a really uncomfortable position. He's got that arm on his back, though, and when you're on bottom like that, there's not a lot you can do except try to find your way out of there.
Now he's got a nice half there. He's got good pressure on the back of the head. He's looking to lift up the head to get it deeper. Cody jumping 2 weight classes this year, but showing a lot of his technical skill is on display here tonight. He's going to win a ton of matches this year for us.
They're saying he's out of bounds. I would have thought that they still had room to work on that. That's a little odd. But so Cody right now has a, is that right? 12-0?
Do you have 2 sets of back points in there?
I didn't see him put it up, but I guess. That brings us to the end of the first period.
And Cale's a good little wrestler, and what Cody's able to do in this match is really quite impressive. Cale, you noticed here, got 3rd place at DCG, wrestled Petsampong, a great wrestler out of Webster City, is his loss on the season.
Okay, so now we're saying there were no back points. It's 2-0. So I got the scoreboard corrected. 2-0. And Cody starts out the second period on bottom.
He's got to get his head up and move here.
He's trying to control that wrist to make it tough for Nelson to do anything offensively, but he's got to work up or he's not going to have a very good situation either. Good job getting up.
He's got to keep scooting into him there. Nelson's got that leg in, and that's not something you want to let happen to you with a Nelson, one of the Nelson clan, and Cody did a good job of getting out of that. That's what the Nelsons do, is they put the legs in and they ride, and so Cody did a really good job of fighting that pressure to avoid that.
So 4-0 right now. Cody's ahead.
12 didn't seem right, did it?
No, I was like, so we have an in-house scoreboard, but
4 seems more reasonable.
Yeah. They can go out of bounds with just over a minute remaining in the second period. Cale will go down. Cody on top. Cale looking for that switch. Cody went for the suck back. He's a little high, and he's going to give it up to 1, not 2. Yep.
1, not 2 there.
So an escape is worth 1 point for Cale there. Cale drops down into the leg. Cody's going to try to put some pressure on him.
Now he wants to extend himself here, Cody does. You want to get your hips down, legs back, and get that pressure on the head if you're Cody here. Keep that pressure and keep scooting back. Get that leg back. There you go.
So no points for anything there, just a lot of action. Now Cody in on a shot. Got to try and suck those legs in. He's going to try and elevate.
Both legs up on. There we go.
And that's going to be a 2-point takedown for Cody Hay. 6-1 lead right now with nearing the end of the second period.
And you can see Cody's in between the legs there, trying to work for a Turk, and we'll maybe highlight on that later when we see it, what that means.
So Cale's going to have choice for the third period, and he's going to choose the neutral position, so both guys standing up. Cody has a 6-1 lead.
Now he's back on that leg again. Same thing he did earlier, dropping down to that outside single. Cody able to get that leg back. He's in good position here. He's not likely to score, but he does have that underhook. So he's safe right there.
Not likely to give up anything
Correct.
either. Yeah.
Yep, it's good defense. And now he drops in. He picks up the leg.
He converts it for a takedown.
There's that Turk we're talking about, and Cody let it go, but you get the in between the legs there and really get the hips turned. It allows you to work some offense. Nelson able to work free from it. Cody leads 8-1 with a minute to go.
So right now, a lot of times you'll see a wrestler look to maybe let him up and then get another takedown to get an 8-point lead, because right now he only has 7 points. And a 7-point lead is worth 3 team points, but if you can get that 8th point, it'd be worth an extra team point, so 4 versus 3. So,
yeah, if the team score was going to be in jeopardy or a close duel, they would certainly be doing that. The coaches would be all over it. That won't be the case here tonight, but we might see it in the future. That he is going to let him up on his feet. And we did see that he had some trouble returning him earlier, and maybe there was just a stall call there.
They did give him a stall call. So right now, Cody has a stalling, and so if he would have picked top again and hung out there too long, he was at risk of giving up a point. So just went ahead and let him have the escape so he could go for another takedown. Dives in on that double leg, looking to bring it up. He's got that whizzer in. Carroll does, trying to defend this.
And Cody's got that leg off the mat, a huge advantage. He finishes the takedown. Able to trip that other leg.
So 10-2 lead right now for Cody Hay. 10 seconds to go. It really needs to keep him on the mat.
That goes to that major decision that you were talking about, that extra team point.
So Cody Hayes going to get the victory over Cale Nelson, 10-2 in the battle of ranked wrestlers. Early season rankings meaning whatever they do, but they're out there, so I used them. Now next up at 126 pounds for Bondurant Ferrara, we're going to have freshman Maximus Riggins versus Ethan Espinover, a sophomore for Carroll. Riggins coming off a really, really great tournament over the weekend. He went 4-1 there, and his only loss was to Carter Freeman, who was the state champ last year at 106 pounds in 3A. So really solid wrestler, and I think it was just a regular decision, 10-3.
Wow. Yeah, Freeman's legit.
A beast, yeah.
He's a good wrestler. Now we've got our own freshman here that's quite accomplished himself in Maximus Riggins. Really, really good young wrestler.
Gets a quick takedown there, 2 points, as he just kind of slipped him on by. Looking for his own tilt. So again, not likely to get a pin here, but right there he's got a 5 count, so he's looking at 3 near fall points. And now that he let go of the hold, the 3 points are awarded, and he can start working for another 3-point near fall if he wants. Riggins.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just saying, Riggins lets him up, gonna look for some more offense. So it's 5-1 now, and just a real tough snap down, gets Ethan off balance and gets the 2-point takedown.
It's not often you see a freshman ranked going into the season, just because they're an unknown quantity, and so it's only a matter of time before you see Max is ranked.
I guess it was even closer than what I thought. Shane says it was 7-3.
7-3.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that's incredible. That's awesome.
Riggins gets another 2-point takedown.
Freeman is not going to have. He's not going to have hardly any matches that are that close this year.
So with the escape, it's 9-2. They're going to be neutral going out of bounds. Just a real aggressive wrestler.
He is, and he prides himself on wrestling from his feet. He's a technician with takedowns. He really likes to be there. There's a snap down, go behind. I mean, that's a simple move, but it takes a lot of practice to get good at it, and Max has done that. Now that's a little risky there when kind of that roll through, so a little out of position. We can always get better, and that's something he'll learn from there.
2-point near fall, so Maximus has a 13-2 lead. And obviously Ethan's just a sophomore too, but a lot of times, when you're growing up, you're like one grade above, one grade below most of the time, and so now when you get into high school, you got a potential as a freshman to be wrestling a kid 3 years older than you, and some of the things that worked really well on kids your age can be a little bit tougher to pull off when the kid's, basically an adult.
Yeah, exactly. old man strength as an 18-year-old, which when you're 15, those 18-year-olds seem strong. That's no doubt about that.
Trying to work that 2-on-1 on the wrist. And we got blood time from somebody. I think it's actually Maximus that's bleeding on to Ethan. So they'll get that cleaned up. 13-2 right now, early in the second period. Riggins one of many kids on the team that do a lot of off-season wrestling, getting work in with. So our coaches aren't allowed to run a whole lot of off-season stuff, but they go to a lot of them go to Moen Wrestling Academy. We got one or two that go to Seabolt Wrestling Academy, getting a lot of work in the off-season and really honing in on their skills. And you can kind of see, that extra development, working moves that maybe you wouldn't see if you have just a limited wrestling season.
Yeah, absolutely. And Shannon Barnes is another one that does a great job with these kids and helping them develop their skills and their technique, along with those other guys that you mentioned.
So we're going to be back to action here. 13-2. Maximus is ahead early in the second period, and he's looking to tilt it up again. Again, getting a little dangerous, what looks like, but he seems like he's really comfortable there.
He's super comfortable, and I get nervous, but it doesn't mean anything. If he's comfortable doing it, then so be it. That oh man, that you just roll through like that, and he's done it a million times, so he knows what he's doing.
And that's going to end the match by a technical fall with the 2 near fall and then 3 more near fall, and now he's going to come away with I think the final was an 18-2 victory for Maximus Riggins at 126 pounds. So that's 5 team points because of the technical fall, giving the Bluejays a 15-0 lead right now. As we move on to 132 pounds, we're going to have another freshman, Jordan Ryle, wrestling name you probably recognize. And for the Tigers, you're going to have Cooper Ludwig, who's a sophomore.
Yeah, so his dad, uncle's out of Fort Dodge when they were in high school, state champs. Uncle used to be the head coach at Buena Vista, so they are a wrestling family. George wrestled for a long time. He knows how to wrestle.
Ludwig gets that first takedown. Ludwig, a good wrestler himself.
Yeah, he's one of their best wrestlers. Lost to Aiden Flora. Man. Yeah. So that's a really good loss.
Flora, big wrestling name as well. His brothers, I think did he go to Grandview? Iowa State or Grandview?
He started Iowa State. I don't know if he's still there or not.
I feel like he might have switched, but was
state champ.
Yeah, state champ, and I think Aiden was a AAU champ, and so good wrestling family. Not someone you're too upset. Well, not someone that hurts your feelings that you lost to. You still didn't want to lose, obviously.
You can see that half Nelson there. I just want to point this out to those at home. That elbow's on the mat. So there's an experienced wrestler with a half Nelson. He's got the elbow on the mat. He's lifting the head. There's a ton of pressure there. If you're Jordan Ryle, this is a really difficult position to be in. Virtually impossible to get out.
That was a really good fight from Jordan. It took a long time to get that pin, but if you can't get out of bounds and the other guy knows what he's doing, you might not have any options. So
Dalton Rao is the guy that may be back in the lineup here later this year. We got to wrestle off when he's healthy and back, but man, these first 6 weights for Bondurant are about as good as anybody.
So moving on to 138 pounds, senior Chase Pfizer for Bondurant Farrar, number 2 in the Rofkin rankings, versus Carter Drake, number 11 in the Rofkin rankings. He's also a senior. 2 really good wrestlers. This could be a really good match. As we mentioned, Chase got his 100th win over the weekend. Went 4-1 as well. Took 5th place there. Lost a tough one in a rematch of his semifinal match last year. Going to go out of bounds.
Was that read out?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Chase and Connor, the brothers, wrestle a little bit different style. Connor's more of a go, 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 and Chase is more of a technician looking for something specific constantly.
And he's so smooth. He's just really fun to watch because you said a technician. He's just great. Everything he does, he makes it look easy. So there you can see he's got the elbow. He's got some options he can do with that. He can reach across. He can slide that by. Gets down to the wrist. Drake himself, a good wrestler, knew that he was in a bad position, was able to work out of it. Now he's got Pfizer elevated. But Pfizer, he's cool as a cucumber here. He's just going to relax and work to get in better position. A stalemate here would be a great thing to have happen.
So you see Chase grabbing those wrists, trying to control the other man, and they're going to stop that position for a potentially dangerous position. No points awarded. Both neutral, 0-0. 21 seconds remaining in the first period. See Chase just constantly working for different things. He tried to get that outside leg there.
And now Drake has that underhook. Pfizer able to kind of get out of that, and we come to the end here. One thing that we know is Pfizer won't end up in that same position again where Drake has the double coming up between the legs. He won't get caught in that same position twice.
So Chase chooses the bottom position to start the second period. Going to look for his escape. Drake really pushing down on that leg, trying to collapse him back to the mat.
Pfizer needs to roll that wrist out here to get it free. He does a good job of getting that wrist out, now working back up to his base. So he's got his wrist free, he's up to his base, he has his 4 posts. He's a stronger wrestler here, able to come up to his feet now and work free.
And so he gets the 1 point for the escape. If you've been watching any college wrestling, there is no riding time. That's not a thing in high school. So
there, a nice snap down. He's trying to go behind. Look at that. Look at that front head. Drake's just hanging on to the elbow, hoping. But, man, that was a really good snap down.
Chase still in a strong position. If you can get him back down to the mat here, they're going to go back to neutral.
That was a fun little sequence there of a shot, defense, coming back up to get reset.
50 seconds here remaining in the second period. You see Chase trying to work that arm. Carter trying to get the other arm, get some wrist control. If you can control their wrist, it's hard for them to take a shot on you. Probably a stalemate position here, I'm guessing. Oh, they came back up. So stalemate would be if the official decides neither guy really has a chance to do anything, they're just kind of stuck in the same spot. He'll reset them as opposed to just standing there and wasting the entire time.
Double underhook here by Drake. What Chase is trying to do is work his way out of that to get his elbows down in a way, and he does that here. So we're going to run out of time here as Pfizer's getting in on some offense. He needed about 5 more seconds.
So Carter's going to choose the bottom position himself. Chase with a 1-0 lead heading into the third period.
Coach Wonderland providing some good support there on the sidelines, wanting him to wrestle on his feet and showing him how to keep moving there as they go into this third period. It's 1-1 since we started neutral. Pfizer letting the opponent up. There we go. Look at that.
Chase with a big takedown there.
Beautiful.
And C's got his wrist or his legs crossed up. He'll actually let him get that back out. So Chase has a 3-1 lead now.
It's a good tight waist there.
Trying to get that cross wrist tied up.
Now, if he's not working out to the side, he's got to be careful here to not get dinged for stalling. You don't want that warning against you. So if you're in the top position, you got to work to turn the bottom guy. That's kind of the deal there. We're going to get a stalemate call out of that. So if you're in the top, you got to work to turn. If you're on the bottom, you got to try to get out. If not, you could be warned for stalling.
So the first warning for stalling doesn't amount to any points. It's just a warning. But after that, you start giving up points. Same thing, Chase has to try and get him back to the mat here. You can get called for stalling too. So essentially, stalling is just to avoid you from not working. They're going to go out of bounds, so Carter's still going to be down. Chase on top. Again, Chase looking over to the coaches.
He was wondering if he'd been warned for stalling yet. And there's a sit-out attempt by Drake coming up to his feet. Sit out to a stand-up, and Chase with a great return to the mat.
Under a minute now remaining. Chase putting together a nice ride here. Gets him returned back to the mat again. Tying up that inside wrist. Carter's just trying to fight hands underneath so he has an option to get away, and they're going to be out of bounds. Same position, Carter down, Chase up, 3-1, 25 seconds remaining. Not exactly the explosion you were probably looking for on bottom if you were trying to score there.
Now like a spiral ride here by Chase. That's pretty cool to see that. An advanced wrestler like himself using a very basic move. What that does is it gets a lot of pressure and gets Drake off balance. He's got that one arm between the leg, the other arm behind the arm, and he's trying to work him, spread him apart. No points there as much as the Carroll Tigers believe it was. That was a good high school match that we were just treated to.
So Chase is going to win that match 3-1. Making the team score Bondurant 18 and Carroll 6 as we move on to 145 pounds. For the Bluejays, we're going to have Porter Francois getting his first varsity match of the season versus Jarrell Gallegos. Jarrell coming down from 152 pounds over the weekend. He's ranked number 9 at 145. Jarrell gets the quick takedown, 2-point lead, and Porter gets back to his stomach to bail out and not give up any back points there. Both wrestlers juniors. Gallegos with quite a bit more varsity experience, though.
And track wrestling, I believe, says it's Alex Martin. Indeed, Alex Martin is not this wrestler. This is Porter Francois. That crossface there. What Porter wants to try to do here is work that wrist free. He's a little high. You could try to shake him loose here. So here's a leg ride. We talked a little bit about it earlier. You can see that the left leg is in on Porter. Porter is able to kick that free.
Now, the Carroll coach is saying go ahead and cut him loose, give up the escape point, and go back to working your takedowns. Porter, good job fighting off that shot, though. Gallegos is able to get back in. Just a real combination type move where you take the shot, right back in, reshoot. Now he's looking for that half Nelson, but he's on the wrong side. Almost like he's setting it up, just trying to get that wrist out. Now you see him pulling that wrist out and putting it on Porter's back. Porter's already leaned that way, and now Gallegos is looking for a fall.
10 seconds left. Porter's got to fight this. 10 seconds. That's hard. Saturday night ride, you get that half in deep and turned. It's really hard to fight that.
So Jarrell Gallegos is going to get the fall at 145 pounds. Now moving up to 152 pounds for Bondurant Ferrara. Cooper Jones is going to get his first match of the year. And for the Carroll Tigers, it's going to be Thaddeus Dirks. Dirks a sophomore and Jones a junior. Jones was coming back from a football injury, so had to get cleared with our athletic trainer.
One of the many faithful that's watching this right now. Trying to teach your husband a thing or two about wrestling.
So Cooper gets the takedown coming around the outside on that front headlock. And looking for a quick cradle.
Look at that. That's a good cradle right there. Crossface cradle.
And he's just got to settle in because there's a lot of time. He's going to try and put that knee in his side and try to eliminate.
Just be patient here, Cooper. That's all you got to do. That's a good combination. Just sit.
And that's going to be the fall for Cooper Jones in 46 seconds. That's a good way to start your season.
If you're wondering if that last name Dirks sounds familiar, you can't throw a rock in Carroll without hitting a Dirks. there have been 100 of them, and there's probably 100 more to come through, and they've had a lot of them that have been really good wrestlers and good football players.
Coming up now at 160 pounds for Bondurant Farrar, freshman Trent Paxton, and for the Carroll Tigers, sophomore Justin Riesberg.
Trent Paxton, a freshman, but he's been wrestling his whole life as well.
Riesberg gets in on the single, elevates it. See, Trent's trying to get that whizzer, get that arm hooked up. Well, they're not allowing Justin to finish. Justin does a good job of adjusting, gets the 2-point takedown. Riesberg looking to try to chop that arm, get Trent down to the mat. Trent's got that base. Now he's got to build up from it. Trying to whip over.
If he can keep that leg and square up, he's going to be in pretty good position. Riesberg, though, with a lot of pressure on that head.
A lot of wrestling comes down to scramble positions,
step
and
up,
Trent did a good
step
job.
Up, keep that leg, step up to the outside here. He's got to keep that leg. He's got both hands on the leg. If he could step up to the outside, he's going to be all right here. He just got to keep moving.
Keep coming up.
Keep stepping around that left leg. Step up with that left leg, and Riesberg able to apply enough pressure to make it where he broke that grip.
Is the right idea, though, and as you were saying, step up. You saw him bring that foot up. You just need to keep coming up a little bit more. Elevation, get his feet off the ground.
And that's something that he'll gain with strength. He's a freshman wrestling 160 pounds. Like,
it's a tough spot.
It's a really tough spot. And then over the years, as he develops that strength in his core and his hips, he'll be able to finish those.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Trying to through town.
Yeah.
It's going to bring us to the end of the period. No points awarded there. So Justin's going to have a 2-0 lead over Trent. Riesberg for Carroll and Paxton for the Bluejays. And Trent is going to choose the bottom position. I believe Riesberg had to defer first. Trying to catch that elbow deep and see if he can get leverage over there is what it looked like. Riesberg now, a lot of pressure near Trent's head, making it really hard for him to get up and get moving. Now this is where it gets a little tough because you see the ref kind of telling both of them to get moving because Trent wasn't really elevating.
Hey, he's got it hooked up. Sit there and get your back points.
So that's going to be a 2-point reversal. And now a 3-point near fall.
Now, once he gets his near fall, he can circle up to the head and maintain control. Just like that. That was perfect. That's how you teach it.
So Paxton now has a 5-2 lead, and you see him trying to put that leg in. Riesberg caught it, though.
Yeah, he's got the left leg in, but he's got to keep his hips up.
Watch the knee. Watch the knee.
Get those hips up. Man, that's a tough position to be in, and he's got 45 seconds. He's got the power half, though. If Trent can get his hips up, keep that power half and jump to the other side, he'd be all right. He's got to keep his hips up, though. He's too high right here. Get those hips back. There you go. Scoot the hips back. Keep that power half.
And now you see him making that adjustment. We're trying to get to the more accurate spot where he wants to be so he can do something with it. He's pulling pulling the other opponent on top of him a little bit too early before that leg is down in there, and so it's allowing Riesberg an ability to catch the leg.
Yep. And he's okay here. Trent can just ride this out. Nothing crazy here. We don't want to try anything wild, but he can ride this out till the end of the period. But a huge second period out of Trent there. He's going to get 2 back points. You bet. Nice.
As we were sitting there thinking, you're just hanging on, and all of a sudden he makes the adjustment, gets 2 near fall points, and now he's got a 7-2 lead.
That was awesome. A great way to end the period. Those 2 points can come in huge at the end.
Riesberg's going to choose neutral for the Tigers. So this third period, Coach Wonderland with a quick comment to make, and then all of a sudden they need to fix Paxton's headgear.
Quick comment there. Our official tonight, Jay Torvik, one of the many great Decorah Vikings of history. So Trent, with that, he had the power half at the end of the period there, and it looked like he was just going to ride it out, but he was working on the opposite side of us, and he was working better than I thought he did. So a lot of credit to Trent to finish that period strong.
And the leg ride is really a thing that you either like or you don't. There's not a lot of in between. And I'm thinking maybe Trent likes it more than we thought.
Yeah, he does.
As it turns out, Riesberg gets a takedown, 2 points there.
So what the coaches are going to try to do here is just try to catch up by takedowns and letting him up. They're going to need to do it about 4 times in a period. So Trent just has to be careful here. He's got to get in better position on his feet. So we've got 1:15 to go.
And right now it's 8-6, and they're going to give.
So Trent's got to get his hands down and block. It's going to be 9-6, so 9-6 right now. Trent's got to get in better position. He's got to get his hips low and block.
That was a real good push-pull by Riesberg.
Yeah, it was. Get those hips out. So Trent here, he's okay. He's okay right here. Get those hips back. Now's the time to switch to that whizzer. We've seen it before. Get that whizzer in. Because Riesberg covered that other ankle, that's how he got that takedown.
And then they're going to give the intentional escape again. So right now, Paxton's ahead 10-8, 40 seconds remaining.
He's got to get his hips lower. He's got to bend his knees. He's got to be ready to sprawl. We know that Riesberg is going to take a shot. So get in, get those hips down, get those knees bent.
Neither wrestler has a stalling.
There's a high crossface here. We need a crossface, Trent. He's got to get that crossface hard. Riesberg has the leg. Crossface.
The ankle. He's
got
coming around, and there's 2.
That was a good crossface defense. And now he's got to keep him down.
And that's what Coach Wonderland's saying, down, keep him down.
Get on an ankle, break him down, get an ankle, chop, something here. But a good defense.
And again, 1, not 2, because if you end up having to give up a point, that's a caution, so Trent covered too early. But if you get in a risky spot, just let go because there's only 12 seconds. If you're just letting go, it's going to be hard for him to get there.
There's a good crab ride. Look at that. That's how you play defense right there. Good finish out of Trent Paxton for this match.
He's not done, though. He wants the power half, too. All right, 12-8 is going to be the victory for Mr. Paxton there, so that's going to be a regular decision, giving the Blue Jays a 27-12 lead. And now we're going to move on to 170 pounds. We're going to see Aiden Carroll for the Blue Jays moving up and Sterling Rodman for the Tigers. Carroll was a 160-pounder varsity for most of the season last year for the Blue Jays. But Rodman in with a quick takedown.
Wow, right off the whistle. He didn't waste any time. So now Aiden Carroll behind 2-0, but he's going to work up to his base. Aiden Carroll, really strong kid.
Rodman's a senior here coming into this match. As they work on the edge. They're going to go out of bounds, and they're going to reset in the middle. Carl will be down. And Rodman's looking at giving him the intentional escape. Doesn't want to work from the top position. And on that first takedown, I could see why he'd feel more confident there.
Now another one just going in on that freight train double. Carroll let go of the whizzer. He had a whizzer in, but not in a very good position. He did the right thing by letting that whizzer go.
You'll hear people yell, bail, bail, basically like, yeah, you can keep fighting, but it's not going to be a great idea. Just give up the 2 and not giving up a pin. So 4-1 here is the score. Sterling Rodman ahead of Aiden Carroll.
Crossface here. Rodman has that crossface. He's got that arm. Trapped.
And I think so. He was saying it was potentially dangerous the way he had Carl's leg hooked and was stretching it out to the side. I'm not. Because he was up. He was up above the knee, lifting it up, and so I think he was putting. I think that's what he said. Although it's not from that point where they stopped it, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure exactly what he saw.
Yeah, it was something with that figure 4 that he didn't like, and he explained it to the Carroll coaches, and Coach Nagel seemed okay with it.
Yeah.
There we go. He was up. He's got a finish coming up, though. Aiden was up. He had a good whizzer in.
So another takedown for Rodman gives a 6-3 lead nearing the end of the first period here at 170 pounds. Started the duel at 113. Carroll does have a few open weights as we're coming up, so I think we only have 2 matches after this one. Carroll had first decision. He deferred the choice to the third period, and Rodman chooses neutral. Carroll does a better job defending that shot there.
There we go. That's a good front headlock. Now he's switching, going underneath the arm there. He's got a little underhook and an overhook, trying to slide by, shuck him by. Now he drops in a good shot, reshot there. Chain wrestling is what we call that. If you hit one thing, it doesn't work. You hit the next thing, you just keep going. And most of the time in wrestling, if you just keep going, you're going to be all right. And Aiden did that there. Two takedown attempts. He wasn't able to get anything, but he showed that he's capable, and he's just got to string more together. He ran out of real estate more than anything. There we go.
2-point takedown for Carroll. Now it's Carroll 6, Bondurant Farrar 5 on this match. See what type of ride Aiden wants to put together here.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we could see some offense from the top position out of him. He's really working those wrists. He's riding parallel, and I'm worried about a stall call here, so I'd like to see him get out to the side.
But he's going to give the stall warning to Rodman on bottom because he also wasn't looking to work up. And that's where you get a little bit dangerous, because if the bottom guy's not working up and the top guy's not moving off to the side, both are in danger of getting called for it.
So there's a good butcher. Man, there's a move you don't see often, but if you got the right grip on that tricep above the elbow and you can run a butcher around the head, you're going to get some points.
That well, though, getting that leg
Yes,
hooked.
He did. Yep. By grabbing that leg, Aiden had to stop going. So now it's just a crossface, which is still effective, but he needs to get around behind. You do not want to give up an escape in the last 5 seconds. Get around behind, maintain position. The reversal.
So that's going to bring us to the third period. Rodman has 8, Carroll has 5, and Aiden's going to choose down.
So there's that 1 not 2 that we talked about. Got a little out of position in the last 5 seconds. Gave up a reversal, which was 2 points, instead of bailing on it and giving up the 1. Another thing that they'll be able to see on video.
Now Aiden's trying to keep his hips high. He's going to get that
There we go.
two-point reversal
There we
to his
go.
back. No back points awarded, but the 2-point reversal is Aiden trails 8-7 right now. Early enough in the period, you're still going to work for some points from the top position. If they get later in this position, you might see him just cut and then see if he can get a takedown. But
He was trying to run the butcher earlier, finished with the crossface, so he's working the wrist deal right now, but Rodman has not given up his wrist. So it'd be nice to Aiden go back to that crossface to see what he could do. We get about 45 seconds. He's going to have to cut him loose.
working side to side a lot, putting Rodman in danger of getting another stalling call if he doesn't work to get up here.
And now it is worth noting Rodman has been warned for stalling. And so the next stall call is worth a point. There we go. In on that leg. Elevate it. Lift it up. Jump across. Jump across. Get your right arm out here and jump across. He's got to keep going here. Rodman's just going to hang on and hope for a stalemate call. Aiden's got to jump that leg over. Now he's got to hang on.
And that's going to be 2 points for Rodman there.
I don't know how that's two. I don't know about that.
Not sure I agree with that call, but that's what they have right now, which...
So he's got to get his hips up here and get control, Aiden does. Get that ankle free, power that half. Okay, there's two. Now he's got to cut him and take him down because he's behind.
Unless he can get this power half over, but Rodman isn't moving. He's trying to just hang out there because he only has 10 seconds to go, and you're not going to get called twice for stalling in 10 seconds. So that's going to be the end of the period, end of the match, and Sterling Rodman's going to come away with an 11-9 victory over Aiden Carroll on a call that might not make everybody happy.
And as much as we hate the result for Aiden in that, there's a lot to be learned from. And Coach Wonderland and his team are going to watch video with him from that last 20 seconds of the second period all the way through that third period. So they'll have a lot to review and a lot for Aiden to learn. And so if he's willing to learn from that, he's going to be leaps and bounds better than he was tonight come the end of the season.
So at 182 pounds for Bondurant for our Clayton Vanderpool is going to take a forfeit. So that'll be 6 points for the Blue Jays. At 195 pounds, John Powers is going to take a forfeit. So that'll be 6 more points. And then at 220 pounds, Quentin Fulton takes a forfeit for the Blue Jays, giving the Blue Jays a now 45-15 lead. And the duel has been determined. Bondurant for our will win the duel, but we have 2 matches to go. Heavyweight, 285 pounds. We have sophomore Noah Winger for the Blue Jays. And for the Carroll Tigers, it's Colton Weiland and junior.
Noah's a kid that's put in the off-season work, a multi-sport athlete. He's lifting weights, he's running, he's getting better. And he's a kid that once he learns a lot of technique when it comes to wrestling, he's going to be hard to beat. And that's not to say he does. I mean, he has good technique now. He has technique as a wrestler. They get some polish on that. By the time he's a senior, he's going to be somebody that you don't want to mess with from the other team.
Winger coming into this match 4-1 on the season. Weiland coming in 0-2.
This is a classic start to a heavyweight match with some circling for the first minute, deciding like, do I really want to go underneath? Do I want to take a shot? Do I want to snap the guy down? Am I going to try and go behind? Like, yeah, let's see what goes on here.
Heavyweight matches seem to either end with a 1-point differential or a pin.
Yeah, and that 1-point differential is after like 3 overtimes.
Yeah. Most heavyweights don't prepare and don't feel like they're built for a 6-minute match.
No, certainly. And something we just saw to Noah there with that, he tried to get the 2-on-1 on the head and slide that arm by and grab it to work. And now Whelan didn't go for it. He didn't fall for it. But I like to see that out of Noah, especially if with his strength. he's a big kid, but he's really strong as well. If he could use that strength to learn that upper body stuff and really make something good out of a two-on-one from the neutral position, he's going to be able to set up an offense, both upper body and outside singles with that.
End of the first period, no score. Winger gets first choice. He's choosing bottom.
And he'll hit a stand-up right away here, getting out. No use in trying anything cute with a roll here. Just stand up.
And so you see the official making the locked hands call. So Weiland had a no pinning combination and locked his hands together. Wieland or Weiland, do you know?
I don't know.
My neighbor growing up was a Weiland, so I was guessing Weiland, but
okay.
It might be Wieland.
Well, hey, let's go with Weiland then, until we're told differently.
So there you're going to see the caution. Winger must not have been set quite the way he needed to be. The first caution is no big deal. The second caution is no big deal. You do it enough times, though, and it starts costing you points. Locked hands, though, is always going to cost you points. And that's going to be a second penalty point awarded to Winger for the locked hands. Next one would be worth 2 as well, right?
Coach Nagel's going to have him start neutral here. He doesn't want that third locked hands.
Yeah. And that's just smart coaching there.
Yeah, it is.
You can work on that whole locked hands thing at the next practice, but for now you don't want him to get disqualified, because if you give up too many penalty points, it does just technically end the match as a forfeit. Or disqualification, I guess. Technically.
So now Colton able to do a snap down of his own and kind of caught Winger off balance more than anything.
Winger does get the escape, so now he has a 4-2 lead with the penalty points and the 2 escapes. Colton's got the takedown. About halfway through the second period here.
There we go.
Good
Trying to get underneath that. It's kind of a duck under attempt.
A duck and chuck?
Yeah, there you go. Popping that elbow up and then moving the head down.
So you don't see as many true shot attempts like you do with the lighter guys, because if you get low and don't get elevated right away, you got a 250-pound man laying on you and it's hard to get up. Colton with just a kind of a blast double there, gets the takedown. Winger able to get back to his belly, so 4-4.
An escape here would be huge for Winger, and they're going to cut him. I don't disagree with them as coaches having him do that.
Winger just went down. Kind of a non-contact thing. His ankle looks like what he's holding. I'm not sure what happened, if he just rolled it.
He seems to be in quite a bit of pain, too.
We got the trainer out to look at him. Right now he's just talking to him. I'm not sure what he sees, but it's just it's almost like when he stood up, maybe he rolled it just a little bit goofy, and it took him a minute, with the adrenaline going, to feel what happened.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's nothing serious, but it definitely looks like he's in pain.
Yeah. You can see our training staff out there, and Coach Wonderland for Bondurant, Coach Nagel for Carroll, and then Ryan Sweeney, the activities director for Bondurant.
So he was initially looking at his right ankle.
And then, yeah.
He's just kind of got it stationary, so I'm not sure if they're just like, just don't move it, let it sit for a second, see what you're feeling.
The other thing with wrestling is we do have an injury time limit. You're only allowed so much time. I think it's a minute and a half of injury time to decide whether or not you can continue. And if the medical professional says, no, you're not wrestling, then you don't get that minute and a half. Or if the minute and a half expires, you got to make a decision.
But they're not going to wait the minute and a half. They're going to make that decision, end the match. Especially in a situation like this where you're not deciding a duel and it's early in the year, you want to get it figured out and make sure, if it is something even moderate, you don't want to make it worse by continuing on.
Exactly.
And he's definitely not putting any weight on it, so hopefully it's not as bad as it appears to be right now. As you see, teammate Isaiah Larson going over there was going to try and carry him off because that's just the type of guy Isaiah is.
Yeah, he is. The first one there to help a teammate for sure.
So we're going to move to our final match of the night, which is 106 pounds for our Reed Foster sophomore versus Draylon Schweitzer for the Carroll Tigers. Draylon is a junior.
Reed Foster has done a lot of really good things in his youth wrestling career. Another one that last year would have been in a lot of varsity lineups. He was just behind an accomplished wrestler as well, so it's great to see him getting his chance here at varsity, and he's coming up between the legs here. He had a nice shot coming up between the legs, trying to dump off to the side.
Just trying to pop his head out so he can finish this shot.
There we go.
Schweitzer doing a good job of maintaining some type of defense from that. Foster looking to work around.
And the ankles are just kind of twisted up in there by Schweitzer, and he's doing everything he can to get a stalemate call. Foster doing everything he can to come out. First he was trying to go through the back door, now he's out to the side, and he's going to make this happen.
He's in a good spot right here.
Schweitzer able to flip the hips. No points here, though.
And
we're going to go out of bounds. That's a good scramble. Draylon Schweitzer coming into this match. He's 0-2, but he's matching Foster with the intensity and the aggressiveness.
I didn't catch who he wrestled. The Tigers were at the DCG tournament. There were some really good teams there, too, so he might have had a bad draw as well.
Yep. There we go. There's a good shot by Reed Foster. And now he's got that single leg 2-on-1. He's trying to come and get his hips around behind. A lot easier said than done, but he is in complete control of that leg. And Schweitzer just looking for a stalemate.
He had that head popped out and then got it back in there. If he's got his leg hooked, if he can get his head out,
there we
he
go.
Should be able to finish it.
That's
which he
two.
Just did. That's 2 points.
Come on.
3, 2, and he's going to say no points.
Oh, the official thought that the grip around the leg, which we couldn't see from up here, he had him hooked around the leg, so didn't think that Foster was in control. That's a call that the Carroll fans are going to love and the Bondurant fans are going to hate, and it's just part of wrestling that we've got to get over it because he didn't get the points.
And Foster chooses neutral again. He's been in deep on 2 shots and just not quite able to finish those, so he's going to look to get right back to work trying to score.
There we go, another shot attempt. Man, Foster is going at it on his feet.
He's grabbing headgear, which is not supposed to be allowed. Which is really easy for me to see when I'm on the back side of the action, and maybe not for the official when he's on the front side of it.
There's a front headlock. Now he's looking to reach across. Schweitzer just a little too lengthy for Foster to able to reach through and tap that knee, trying to get a knee tap out of it. And now Schweitzer's just hanging on to that elbow. Foster with a front headlock. And Schweitzer wants to Kelly up out of this. They switch positions and go out of bounds.
You can see when they go back out to neutral, Schweitzer's got quite a bit of length on Reed.
Yeah, he's a head taller.
Which has its advantages and disadvantages, but when you're in that situation so far, it's been an advantage Schweitzer on the length.
Schweitzer with a couple attempts on his own. First he had that elbow to try to shuck him by, and then he dropped down to the single. Foster now with a great underhook. Look at that left arm, that underhook all the way up on the shoulder. That's a great position to be in because you control that guy's that entire side of that guy's body. You can control with that underhook, and you can move him to step forward. You can push him back. Now he's got a front headlock to go with that underhook. Foster in great position here.
Got to work fast though. Only 10 seconds on the clock.
Good front headlock. He's coming around behind.
Good
and they're going to
defense
go out
by
of bounds.
Schweitzer.
Man. If you're a wrestling fan, that's a good sequence there by both parties.
And if you're not a wrestling fan, you should become one.
Right. Whew. Good job by Foster on that, being aware.
So we're going to go into the third period with only 2 minutes on the clock, not 3 like it said. 0-0 so far, but no shortage of action.
Plenty of action. It's kind of fun to end with the 106-pounders because we get a flurry of action. Scoreless going into the third. That's also very uncommon in high school wrestling to have no score in the third period. You watch all the matches you want this year, and I don't think you'll see that very, very often at the varsity level at least.
Schweitzer went with the roll. Now Foster trying to maintain his.
There's a power half. He's just trying to hang on and is all he's doing there. Called the potentially dangerous because of the pulling on the ankle, twisting of that foot, just a safety thing.
Yeah. Another roll attempt there. And Schweitzer comes away with a 2-point reversal. Has Foster in a tough spot. Foster's able to belly out. Gives up 2 near fall points, though. So Schweitzer now with a 4-0 lead. And Reed's got to get some work going. Now Schweitzer gets that leg in. A lot of pressure there, but Foster's headhunting, trying to catch that.
He's got to get that.
Turn him.
Yeah, get that arm out. Snake that arm out. There you go, around the waist. There's 2.
Reversal,
now he's going to get near fall of his own.
2,
you
3,
bet.
4, 5.
Yes.
And right now Foster has a 5-4 lead if he doesn't pin him. He hasn't awarded the 3 points yet because he hasn't let go of the move. And right there now, Reed's going to get his 3 points. He has a 5-4 lead. 30 seconds on the clock, and now Reed's going to put a leg in.
And he's just going to be happy to ride this thing out. He's got a leg in, and he's going cross-body ride. So he's got the leg in on the right, jumping across the body. Now he sits back into a crab ride. Sit right here. Take a stall call. This is awesome. What a great third period by Reed Foster to keep moving. Had that leg Turk on the tilt with the reversal.
1 and is able to maintain it. Reed Foster comes away with a 5-4 victory. That'll be the final match of the night.
What an awesome way to end this meet. A great match. That was 6 minutes of high-level high school wrestling.
Right. So at the end of the duel, we're going to have a 48-21 victory for the Bluejays. During that, we had victories from Connor Pfizer by fall, Cody Hay by major decision, Maximus Riggins by tech fall, Chase Pfizer by decision, Cooper Jones by fall, Trent Paxton by decision, Clayton Vanderpool by forfeit, along with John Powers by forfeit, Quentin Fulton by forfeit, and then Reed Foster with that last decision. A lot of excitement tonight. Great opportunity for us to start out a home duel there. We do have a Legacy Bank Player of the Game to award, or Wrestler of the Duel to award, and I'm going to defer to you. Who do you want to give the opening Legacy Bank Wrestler of the Duel to?
Man.
You got some tough ones to work with. I mean, you got Maximus Riggins, who put together a really solid tech fall. Connor Pfizer was on his way to a tech fall before getting that pin. Cody Hay, I know you were looking forward to that match with him and Cale Nelson. Obviously, Pfizer had a really good one with Carter Drake.
Man, you're putting me on the spot here. I'm
putting you on the spot because you probably didn't even know we were going to do that.
No, I didn't have a clue. Man.
You can't go wrong. Because
No, you've highlighted the 5 kids that any of these 5 are deserving of it. And You know what? I'm going to do this. First home duel of the year, and to see the way that these kids came out and wrestled.
Team captain? Is that what you're thinking? You're second guessing it. I get it.
I am second guessing. Man, I am second guessing it.
I'll take it. I'm going to go with Maximus Riggins with the tech fall, because that was a really dominant effort he put in there. And, selfishly, it's the first time we've gotten to get to see him put in that work. And it was really exciting. So Maximus Riggins with the tech fall at 126 pounds. We're going to give him the Legacy Bank Wrestler of the Duel. Legacy Bank, a great sponsor for a lot of Bondurant for our activities. So Legacy Bank, building legacies one customer at a time. Also a quick final shout out, thank you to Rao and Baker Painting. They do amazing paint work on commercial, residential. If you need your house redone, new construction, any of that, they're right here, local Bondurant people that do great work. Support your athletes, and may even be related to some of them. So great work, and overall, just a great duel to get started. And I think for that, we'll wrap up for tonight, and you guys can all go enjoy the rest of your day. But I think for now, go Blue Jays, and good night.